Let's put some dimensions on our floor plan now. And this is a really incomplete floor plan, but we have enough stuff here that we can look at doing dimensioning. So first of all, let's go to paper space. I'm going to click on my B-size sheet here. Let's go to paper space and make sure we've got the right viewport scale. I'll double click inside that viewport to open it. Now the window is open into model space, and there's the tab that says model. Now I will click my drop-down list here and make sure I already set it at 3/16 equals a foot. We determined that was a good scale. We just want to make sure that scale is set. Okay, that's our scale. Double click outside the viewport to make sure it's closed. Now let's go back to model space. There we are. And let's go look at our dimension style. For that, we'll go to the Annotate tab at the top here. Here's Dimensions. There's that diagonal drop-down arrow for dimension style. And here's our style. And look in the preview window here. Notice that Standard appears to be some kind of mechanical style. Arch appears to be our architectural style. So we're going to go with architectural and we'll modify. Let's make sure, we'll go to our Symbols and Arrows tab at the top. We'll make sure we have architectural ticks and they are 1/8 of an inch size. Good. The AutoCAD's default is too big. I had to set this to 1/8. Let's look at the text. It is the arch style, which happens to be stylus. The text height is 1/8 of an inch. Good. And we never ever change this. We always leave the text height at 1/8 of an inch no matter what. And we see that the text is aligned with the dimension line. That's what we want. Now we come to the Fit tab. And Fit is where we find the scale. And right now, the scale is set at the wrong size. This is set at a scale of 48, which would be 1/4 of an inch to the foot. We want 64 because we figured out we have 3/16 of an inch equals a foot. That's our viewport scale. That's the same as 1 to 64. So I'm going to set this to 64. OK, close. Good. Now I can go back to I could stay here. I kind of like to go back to the Home tab. And here are some shortcuts to the dimensions. I will just get the dimension command. Oh, you know what? First, we need to get the correct layer. We don't want dimensions on our wall layer. So there's our dimension layer, current. Okay, good. Now I'll get a dimension. And I will start dimensioning across the bottom. Notice how we're using O-snaps. We make sure that endpoint or whatever we're using lights up. So there's that. Now to the next corner, I don't want to click up in here. I want to go down to the outside corner. And there is my first dimension. I think I'll make another dimension. Click. So I'm going to click on this outside corner and click on this outside corner. Now, when I go to drop my dimension down, if I just eyeball it, I go, yeah, that looks about right. No, it's not about right. Look how these are not lined up. So I'm going to do that again. Put my dimension, snap to each corner, and this time, to locate it, I'm going to come over here to my first dimension and wait until an endpoint O-snap lights up, and now I will click. Oh yes, that's nicely lined up. I'll do one more dimension from this corner to this corner, and now I'll snap to the endpoint O-snap, and those are all lined up. That looks pretty good. Now, we don't have leaders on this drawing, I don't believe, but if we did, we'd want to go back to the Annotate tab and go to our leader style and modify our leader style. And we'd want to make sure that our leader scale was set at 64, just like our dimensions are. Okay, that is good. I'll go back home. Now, let's say I wanted to put a hidden line across my floor plan. I need to make a new hidden line layer actually, because I was not bright enough to put a hidden layer in here for you. So I'm going, and what I did, sorry, going too fast. What I did was I clicked on this Layer Properties button that manages layers. Here are all my layers, and I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to look at these stacks of layers up here and just hover over each one till I see which one lights up and says it's new. Ah, it's that one. Okay, layer. And I'm going to name this, I mentioned this in an email to you, I'm going to name this A Wall Hidden Line, A-wall-HDLN. And I think I will make this some other color. Where is a different color? And I need to make this a hidden line. Here's hidden. Okay. I want to confess something to you. AutoCAD, sometimes AutoCAD is stupid. Well, sorry, sometimes AutoCAD does things that you can't figure out. And one of them has to do with line types. So, for some reason, hidden lines make dashes that are 1/4 of an inch long. They're twice as big as they should be. And what we should do is we should load, I'm going to click this load button. Let me show you how I got here. So here I am. I'm looking at my new layer. I'm going to click this line type button, hidden. This thing opens. I don't see the thing I want. Hidden is too big because AutoCAD is stupid. So I'm going to click this load button because I want to load hidden 2, which for some inexplicable reason is the right length. And now that I'm in my select line type window, I will click hidden 2 for that line. I'm going to change my foundation pier to hidden 2 also. And while I'm here, I'm going to make another new layer that I told you about in the email for the roof outline. A-roof-outline OTLN. And I'm going to make that I already have one. Okay, I already have one. Roof outline. I'm going to need a different name. I'm going to name this A roof dashed. And I'm going to change that to a dashed 2. And while I'm in here, the A foundation footing, that dashed line type is stupid. It's too long. So I'm going to change that to -2 just so they look right. All right. Anywho, I have now created an A wall, where the heck is it? A wall hidden line right here. I'm going to make that my current layer and close my layer manager. I could also go to this drop-down list and select A while hidden. And now if I draw a hidden line, I think I'll make one here using the object tracking. I'll go there and there. That should be a hidden line, but look what it looks like. It looks like a solid line. Let us go check LTSCALE. I'm going to type LTSCALE. Oh, look, the LTSCALE factor was set to 1. So I'm going to set that to 64. That's our drawing scale factor. Look, now it's the right length. Let's go to paper space, and it's the right length. Had it not been the right length, I would have typed PSLTSCALE, set it to 0, enter, and type regen all, enter. Now, what are we going to do? We have two floor plans, a first floor and a second floor. You could just save them as totally different drawings if you wanted to. But what if you wanted to draw both of them in model space and have two different sheet layouts? Let's go back to our layout. If you don't know what else to do, click the right mouse button. Something good will happen. So I am clicked on the B sheet tab, click the right mouse button. Ooh, I could make a new layout. If I click that layout, I don't have a title block, so that's a bummer. I'm going to right-click that and delete that one. Okay, let me right-click on my Layout tab again. Looky here, Move or Copy. I could make a copy of this B layout. I will select that. And where do I want this copy? Oh, and first of all, make sure you click Create a Copy. Very important. Do you want it before the B sheet or do you want it at the end? I want mine at the end, so I will go OK. Now I've got a second B sheet layout, and look here, it also has a title block, and I could open this viewport, pan and go get my second floor layout if it were someplace else. Double click outside. I can rename this. I'm going to right click on my sheet tab, and here's a thing that says rename. I think I will name it upper level. Enter. So now I've got my B sheet. I might want to name that. Right click, rename. I might even name that main level. Enter. So now I have two tabs, each looking into model space with different names. I can make each one of them different. And I want to point out that, and let me move I'm going to pan and move my floor plan a little bit out of the way and close my viewport just so we can go look at this title. I want to show you, as I did in another video, that I put my title right here in paper space, so I did not have to worry about how big to make the text in the circle. I just made this circle 5/8. I just made this text 1/4 of an inch high, and so forth, and everything looks right. There you go.